Right, going into round 5, we have Rune against Vincent. So knowing Rune, he's going to play Gardevoir, just like he did in LAIC. I don't know if the list is going to change. If it did change, he might play something like the Diancie. Right, going to see the prize cards here. Vincent playing Arven, Ino, Boss, Prime, and a Grass Energy. Oh, it's going to be Joltik Box. Interesting. With an Ino to boot. Alright, Rune showing that Monkey Dory. Oh, they're starting with the Mawile. Yeah, that's not a card you want to start off with. It's a tech card into the Joltik Box that knocks through the Cornerstone Ogerpon because that's really a problem. But you don't really want to start off with it. Alright, Rune quickly checking the energies, putting them back, putting the Pokemon at the front, seeing the Turbo Energize there. That's really interesting. But I suppose that's it. Like, at the World Championships, they played Turbo Energize to quickly charge up the Monkey Dory. But going first, that's not going to help. And the Latias is there as well. I suppose that's it there for retreating your Frillish, your 3 attachment Frillish. Because hard retreating, manually attaching costs you 3 turns to retreat that Frillish. Alright, so the nest ball came down, grabbing a Rolls, then playing the secret box, throwing away Arven Gardevoir energy, and I suppose Rune's now looking for... Ooh, it's going to be no Vessel. I suppose grabbing Vessel is also nice. Yeah, we see some glimpse of the Diancie. Diancie is good. Like, I really like the Mega Diancie in Gardevoir now, because the Mega Gardevoir, it was nice, but it allowed you to commit energies onto your entire board state. They could get stuck, and the opponent can just trap something in the active spot which doesn't have an energy. You can't accelerate more with the Gardevoir EX, and they're just stuck there. But with the Diancie, in order to attack, you need to discard the 2 energies from your Diancie. And that's just better. Alright, Rune playing the Artisan for another Rolls, having Rare Candy in hand for next turn. Able to evolve instantly into Gardevoir EX, and doesn't allow to Vincent to play something like the Iron Hands to get early knockouts. But obviously that Monkey Dory is going to stay there for a while, but there's already an energy in the discard pile. So next turn you can Candy Gardevoir, accelerate to the Monkey Dory, retreat into an attacker. You can accelerate through the means of Artisan. But now Vincent has access to the Artisan, getting out your Joltik. And it's going to be just that. Artisan for the Joltik. Is there something else going on? You have Ultra Ball, so you can go get rid of, yeah, the Galvantula. Maybe perhaps an energy. And you need to grab, yeah, Miraidon EX, because Miraidon EX is going to accelerate your Pokemon onto the bench. And knowing there's a Gardevoir coming, because you took the Rare Candy, you know, you need to apply a lot of pressure. So that's why the Pikachu's coming down as well. Or is it? Is it going to be double hands? No, it's just going to be the one hands. So that Joltik is going to charge up everything onto the one iron hands, making it a big target. So Rune will definitely try to go after that one iron hands to limit them from applying even more pressure. And I suppose Vincent just wants to find the Crispin for next turn. So now, having access to Crispin as well, you can charge up the other energies onto the Iron Hands. But what's the retreat cost onto the Mawile? I thought it was 2, right? 2 energies from Mawile in order to retreat it. I mean, if Vincent found something like Arven, they could grab Prime Catcher or even the Air Balloon in order to retreat the Mawile. Oh. I think this is going to be a pass. Yeah. Ooh, that opens up a lot of stuff for Rune now. Because Rune has time. There hasn't been a jolting charge just yet. So, nothing's powered up for Vincent's side of the board. And Rune already has a Gardevoir EX in play. But I thought there was only 2 energies in the discard pile. Oh, and he has Screamtail in hand. Yeah, that's also huge. Alright, Artisan. Getting another Munkidori, I suppose. I mean, you have the time. If Rune did find a Turbo Energize, they could just accelerate to the Munkidori through the means of rolls, perhaps, or just leave that Munkidori into the active spot. Alright, Bravery Charm onto the Munkidori is nice here, because that can't get knocked out by the Iron Hands. Iron Hands amp you very much, only does 120 damage, but with the Bravery Charm, that Munkidori has 160 damage. HP, sorry. So effectively, that gets out of range of the Iron Hands, and if they did try something to knock it out, it needs to be Arm Press. And with an Arm Press, you only take 1 prize card from the Munkidori. Alright, Lily here for 8 fresh cards. Yeah, you have 8. Didn't take a prize yet. We have Dark, Ultra Ball. No means to get more energy in play. No Earthen Vessel as well. You have Ultra Ball though. I suppose you need to commit the Dark to the benched Munkidori, because that's going to be more safe. You can accelerate to the active Munkidori through the means of Gardevoir, and perhaps benching the Frillish, item locking them, but we all know that item locking Joltik Box doesn't really do much, but it's the only play Rune could do right now. So, apply pressure, Oceanic Gloom, limiting them from playing item cards, and I suppose getting that Joltik knocked out would set them back even further. But now Vincent's item locked, and Rune didn't take a prize card, so Gobble Down is not going to do any damage. And they still need to retreat that Mega Mawile, have an attachment onto the Joltik, but they have just that. Wow. Manually retreating that Mega Mawile into the Joltik. But Rune has another Lily for next turn, and I suppose Vincent just wants to count the energy, what they have. I mean, they just activate it Miraidon. Just to check the deck. And just placing another Iron Hands. Because there's enough targets on the boards, you can just go 2-2-2 as Vincent here. But he chose to go with the Pikachu. That's interesting. Alright, Joltik Charge. I mean, you do have Crispin in hand. But you did retreat. Was it double metal? Oh yeah, just Rune playing Lily right off the bat. It's good because you just had a hand you didn't want to get rid of. And you need all the cards, all the resources you can possibly have. And that Iron Hands needs to go down now. Ooh, you have the Jellicent. Do you have enough? You have Earthen Vessel and Energy. That one's going down. Then you can play Ultra Ball, throwing away the other energies. Evolve into Jellicent EX. But getting rid of the Joltik isn't something you quite want to do here. Or I suppose, depending on what Vincent promotes here, if Vincent promotes something like the Pikachu thinking it might be safe, Rune can retreat the Frillish into Gardevoir EX, attach onto the Munkidori, accelerate that damage over to the Pikachu. Ooh, that's also going to be huge. But Iron Hands has 230. And then Rune needs to play something like Drifloon to knock it out. Or Bravery Charm onto the Screamtail. And Rune just threw away the Jellicent EX with the energy. But he still has the Dark Energy, which he can accelerate to the Munkidori. He can evolve into Curlier to keep that safe for a turn. Yeah, touch the Munkidori. And I think if I was Rune, I was going to attack with the Gardevoir. Apply pressure, attack with the Gardevoir. Because that Pikachu isn't charged up, the metals are in the discard pile. So you don't need to fret. But it looks like it's going to be the Screamtail for 120. We still have the Munkidori can transfer over. So let's see where he's going to put it. Onto the Mawile, of course, because that one gives you 3 prize cards when knocked out. And Screamtail onto the active 120. And I suppose that's alright. Because afterwards you can just Screamtail again, placing all of your damage counters onto the Mawile, and there's your 6 prize cards. So that's the play Rune wants to go for. Which is quite a good plan, in fact. Okay, Vincent wants to eye up the Mew EX. That's going to help him draw more cards. But also that Mew EX will be a target for the Gardevoir. Also, the Mega Mawile is down to... It has 70 damage on it. Mega Mawile has 280, so it's down 200... It's down to 210 HP. Which is just Counter Catch, Gardevoir, Munkidori away from being knocked out as well. And Rune has 2 Munkidori charged up. So he can just effectively channel over 60 damage every single turn. That's huge. And still having access to that Frillish is also good, because you can do a late game Oceanic Gloom and Ino to boot. If they don't have any attackers going on anymore, then they can't play something like Pokegear to get out of an Iono. Alright, 3 cards in hands. And we see an Ampu very much onto that Screamtail. Vincent taking the lead in prize cards, but Rune will quickly change that. I mean, Rune can even play the Diancie, but you don't want to put that into play because Pikachu can simply one-shot the Diancie. Chooses to throw away the Counter Catcher, which is, ooh, oh, that's interesting. Using the Mew EX to copy Iron Hands to grab 3 prize cards, leaving open a board state you can win from. I mean, making this decision is already big. You can accelerate 3 energies to your Mew EX, channel over that 60 damage onto the Mawile, knocking out the Iron Hands with Amp You Very Much. Because it has 120 HP left, 110 I should say, so it can get knocked out with its very own Amp You Very Much for 3 prize cards. And even if Vincent will play something like Professor Turo's Scenario to get rid of that Mawile, everything else on the board is 2 prizes worth. So whatever Rune knocks out next turn, that will conclude the game. And channeling over the damage to the Pikachu, making it in range for the Gardevoir EX. Boom, boom, boom. Amp You Very Much for 3 prize cards. That is huge. Yeah, you'd love to see that from Rune's side. Alright, I do wonder what Vincent will apply here. Putting down the Blood Moon. I suppose Blood Moon Boss can take care of the Mew EX. Right, playing the Earthen Vessel here. Getting rid of Crispin. Gets you 2 energies. And I suppose attaching to the Blood Moon is the only thing you can do. Because all of your Metal Energy are in the discard pile. But I suppose that doesn't matter because you're playing the Power Glass. And you need to play something like Les Ball to grab the Latias in order to retreat to Pikachu. But you're committing to the Mew. Alright. So I suppose you have Prime Catcher in hand, then. No. Getting another Crispin. 2, 3. Ultra Ball. So no Arven for Prime Catcher. But I suppose just the 1 retreat will do the trick. And we will see the Blood Moon onto the Mew EX. But I suppose that's going to be game, depending what Rune has. I mean, not depending. You have a Night Stretcher for the Mew. You can channel over the damage to the Blood Moon, and that's done. Job's a good one. Yep. Boom, that's it. Nice. Well played by Rune here. That was some exciting Gardevoir plays. And every damage counter counted. And perfectly placed by Rune. I mean, he didn't even have to take out the Mega Mawile. Just Vincent gave him the win by promoting the Blood Moon Luna. Nice. Alright, over to game 2 here. And I suppose Vincent wants to go second again this time. Rune prizing a Diancie will not do very much. Oh, Vincent starts with the Joltik this time. And Rune has a lot going on as his hands. He can really set up the board. Go for Mew instantly. Because he probably knows he can go down to less cards in his hands to be able to draw with Mew. And having Mew on the board, you can copy a lot of attacks. Like if Vincent chooses to charge up the Pikachu, you could just bring up the Pikachu and channel over with Monkey Dory, and that Pikachu is knocked out. Through the means of Mew EX, of course. Alright, nest balling. Hoping to find the Miraidon, I suppose. And I think it's just going to be the one Miraidon. Is it going to be prized? Pikachu. I didn't pay attention to the prizes, but I suppose it is prized. Yeah, the Miraidon is prized. Oh, that's something you don't want to see here as Vincent, because Nest Ball is only allowing you to place one Pokemon onto the bench. And Rune having a Bravery Charm onto the Monkey Dory, again, it can't get knocked out by Ampu very much. So Vincent has to commit to something like Arm Press, only taking one prize card from it. Instantly placing the Serendipity, because if there is an Ino coming, together with some damage counters from Monkey Dory, the Joltik is knocked out and you can knock out the Iron Hands. Vincent is taking precaution, placing the Serendipity, making sure he has draw for next turn. And now he applies pressure to Rune's side of the board because he's charging up the Iron Hands. Okay, so now Vincent needs something like Boss's Orders to knock out that Lone Rolls, because I need top deck the Boss's Orders. Ooh, you hate to see it. Ooh, that Lone Rolls is going to leave the board. Vincent taking 2 prize cards from it. But still, Vincent doesn't have more going on onto his board. So he's going to play Nest Ball to grab another Joltik. I suppose if that Iron Hands gets knocked out next turn, I suppose that's not going to work. That sets Rune back at least 2 turns. He does have a rare candy in hand, but losing the only Ralts there is not something you want to see here. Yeah, charging up the other Joltik, because when that Iron Hands is knocked out, you have to charge up something else, another attacker, because right now that Iron Hands is the only attacker, is the only thing that can apply pressure, and the only thing you can rely on at this moment. So when the Iron Hands gets knocked out, he wants to charge up some other attackers through the means of Joltik. And I think that was a good decision from Vincent's side of the board. Right, playing the Ralts. Playing the Super Art to get the Ralts back. And seeing this from Vincent's side, that's already a good sign. But Rune wants to draw into it manually through the means of Mew and Pheasantipity. So I really hope you can thin out a lot of cards. You can draw one with Mew, draw 3 more with Pheasantipity. And you can discard 2 energy cards. Were there 2? No, discarding the Jellicent and 1 energy card to get grab 1 Ralts. But if Vincent top decks another boss's orders, that Ralt is going to go down as well. Oh, but they have the boss in hand. That's going to be another boss on alone Ralts. But now Rune can use the Mind Bend. And now it's going to be a coin flip where the Vincent gets to knock out that lone Ralts. It will all come down to the coin flip. Unless you can accelerate the Iron Leaves. Ooh, charging up the Iron Leaves. Unless you have something like... Yeah, no, charging up with the metal. You can retreat through the means of Latias into the Iron Hands, play the boss's orders. Oh, but you only need 1 energy to retreat, do you? Ooh, just only moving over 1 metal from the Joltik doesn't even matter. Ooh, that's a lot of pressure Vincent puts onto Rune's side of the board now. And even charging up the Miraidon means he only needs 1 Crispin to be able to knock out the Mew or the Pheasantipity, which the Iron Hands can't knock out. I think we will shortly go to game 3 here. I mean, Rune is going to try everything he can to put down another Ralts and to apply confusion once again. But then even if he plays the trick like last time, using Mew to knock out the Iron Hands, then Vincent is just going to win with a Blood Moon and an attachment. Because Vincent just needs 2 prize cards. Wow, that's so many cards from Rune's side. Lily for 6 and a Pheasantipity to boot. Yeah, that's... Is that going to be a Mind Bend? It's the only salvation, I suppose. Whee! And there it goes. Alright, now Miraidon is going to look for... Oh, yeah. I suppose that's the Arven for the Prime Catcher. That's going to be game. Wow, that's just an immense pressure from Vincent onto Rune's side. And I suppose Rune wants to go second now, leaving Vincent to go first to be able to get the upper hand this time. I mean, having the boss's orders turn after turn onto that lone rolls was just devastating. Just being able to amp you turn after turn after turn. Quite devastating. Rune did try to Mind Bend, but being able to reset the confusion, being able to play the Prime Catcher, made sure Vincent took the win here. Alright, now we're down to round 3 now. To game 3, I'd say. Right, being able to start with Ralts. It's good, you have Latias in hand. I suppose worst case scenario, can always retreat through the means of Latias. Vincent prizing a Latias isn't quite good here. Now Vincent needs to retreat through the means of an attachment. Otherwise the Iron Leaves is going to stay there for another turn. Alright. Miraidon here for the Joltik and the Iron Hands, being able to apply early pressure here. You do have the Prime Catcher as well. So next turn Vincent can play Prime Catcher or just attach Retreat into the Joltik and Jolting Charge, committing everything onto the Iron Hands yet again. Rune choosing to throw away the Latias with the Gardevoir or Jellicent. Can't see it. Too many glow. Alright, let's see what he grabs here. He's eyeing up the Monkey Dory though. Yeah, I did choose for the Monkey Dory though. Because Rune knows he has time. Because Vincent needs to Jolting Charge in order to get his board state up and rolling. So he has time. He has another turn. And he has another Ralts in hand as well. I love it. Love to see it. But I think he will attach Retreats. Or Collect. Oh, and drew into the secret box. That's a big thing. Oh, you have the air balloon. Oh, nice. That will allow you to free retreat your Iron Leaves into the Joltik. And you can play Arven for the Bravery Charm. That Bravery Charm is going to help your Iron Hands. Oh, and he's eyeing up the Pokegear as well. Pokegear to allow you to get Boss's Orders next turn. Wow. Playing the Miraidon. Getting down another Iron Hands, I suppose. Or eyeing up the Pikachu. I would take the Iron Hands if I was Vincent. Because you have Prime Catcher, you can just reliably Iron Hands turn after turn. You can go down to a low hand size, play the Prime Catcher. I mean, you even have Pokegear for late game to ensure you grab 2 prizes every single turn. But I suppose the Pikachu isn't quite that bad as well. But Rune did prize the Mew. I mean, he's committing everything onto the Iron Hands yet again. Right. Rune discarding the entire hand. But being able to get Lily and everything he can get rid of. You can go Earthen Vessel, the Turbo Energize, play the Mystery Garden, and then afterwards just Lily for 8 fresh cards. Psychic and Dark. So you can attach the Dark to the Monkey Dory and throw away the Psychic to grab 2 more cards, which you can play. Otherwise, you can just Lily for 8 other cards, which is huge. Alright, this Candy Stretcher. No, he didn't throw away the Gardevoir, it seems. Otherwise, he could Stretcher, Candy, Gardevoir, Lily for 8 cards. But now he hopes to find a Gardevoir with the candy as well. Because there's no knockout. You can't play something like Serendipity. If Gardevoir still play Serendipity though. And the Muse prized as well. So you need to draw into Ultra Ball candy or Gardevoir candy. There's a Diancie, Serendipity, and I know. Yeah, I suppose there's another collect coming. You can play the Serendipity next turn though. And play Ino. But there is not much else going on though. Also, you did already commit the energy to the Munkidori. Otherwise, you could Oceanic Gloom. Oh, and that's also a big play here. Because Vincent doesn't... Oh, but yeah. Rune doesn't know Vincent has Prime Catcher in hand. He also just drew the boss's orders. Yeah, that limits that play. But that was a good play, promoting the Serendipity. Because looking at Vincent's board state, that was not something that could be knocked out. Alright, now we're going to see the Amp You Very Much onto the Munkidori. Grabbing 2 cards here. Alright. But still, there's not much going on Vincent's side of the board. There's not many Pokemon charged up, just a single Iron Hands. So if the Iron Hands does go down, you lose your only attacker. So you have to rely on Crispin onto the Pikachu, maybe even with Energy Switch shenanigans. Or I suppose you have to commit onto the Power Glass. And it's going to be an Ultra Ball for the Curlier. Rune does need to play the Ino because Vincent has the Prime Catcher in hand. So that Curlier was going to go down. So Rune is going to evolve the Ralts into Curlier. And the Diancie, I suppose manually attaching to the Diancie is quite good because he only needs 2 attachments and it can do 240 damage. But the Iron Hands hits 280 HP through the means of the Bravery Charm. So Rune does need something like Counter Catcher onto the Marizon or even the Pikachu because you can channel over the damage with the Munkidori. But I suppose we'll see. Vincent saw the play knocking out the Munkidori because that limits Rune to committing his attachments onto the Munkidori. And he will try to limit Vincent in his plays though. But Vincent drew the Latias from the prize cards so he can just retreat the Miraidon manually. So that active Ralts is going to go down though. Rune deciding to play the Frillish and pass the turn. And Vincent just casually top decking Arven. So he could get something like... But he's committing to the Crispin. And I suppose taking your time, charging up the Pikachu is quite good here. Also, you need to retreat the active Pokemon. Choosing Metal and Grass Energy. Alright. Metal going onto the... Oh no, it's a Grass. Metal going onto the Pikachu. Evolving that Joltik allows Vincent to have a more bulkier Joltik. That it doesn't go down just by 1 Munkidori. Oof. Oh wow. Vincent just took another 2 prizes with the Iron Hands Amp You Very Much. How is Rune going to go out of this situation, though? Because Vincent also has Arven in hand, so Arven can get you Prime Catcher. But Rune does have a Curlier this time. This time around. And that Iron Hands needs to go down. You have Earthen Vessel, though. And Gardevoir in hands. You can accelerate the Dark to the Monkey Dory. Yeah. Have the Gardevoir. And take the knockout with the Diancie. But Vincent has Crispin in hands. A Crispin would seal the fate. And would allow the Pikachu to knock out the Diancie. So Rune does need to find an Ino here. Or Vincent would just have game next turn. Alright, Mystery Garden here, drawing more cards. And no, I know. Yeah, I think that is going to be game then. Because you can't knock out the Iron Hands with your Gardevoir EX. Because it has 280 HP. This is exciting to see. Ultra Ball, double Psychic. Ooh. Okay, so... Excuse me. Pheasantipity. Still hoping to find the Ino. There's another Lily, I suppose. I mean... Oh, there is an Ino. Nice. Okay, limiting Vincent down to 2 cards might save Rune's entire strategy here. Oof. Arven and Mew EX. That is not going to save him just yet. He needs the Crispin onto the Mew. But can he get a knockout with the Jellicent? I suppose the Jellicent can only do 160 damage. Or 240 in total. 240. Double Monkey Dory also knocks out the Iron Hands. Limiting Vincent from playing item cards and tool cards. And you need to accelerate a lot of energies to the Jellicent. But I suppose that is going to be the play to limit Vincent down to anything he can play in order to guarantee you the win. But because Vincent evolved the Joltik into Galvantula, that is going to take another 2 turns in order to knock that out. Alright, we are seeing the Jellicent into the active spot here. Accelerating 4 energies to it. And doing 240 damage, knocking out the Iron Hands. Or is it on a knockout? Oh, he just top decked Prime Catcher. Yeah, I suppose that is game. You can just Prime Catcher the Monkey Dory. Oh no, he can't. Because Jellicent is in play. But Vincent can... Ooh, this is interesting though. grabbing the Pokegear. He can't play the Pokegear. He's item locked and tool locked. So as long as the Jellicent's there, so he needs something like Boss's Orders in order to play, to win, actually. And that's just going to be an arm press. It's 180. And if Vincent is able to do another arm press next turn, then that's a win from Vincent's side of the board. But now Monkey can throw away the damage onto the Iron Hands. It has 120, 180, 220. So it has 60 left. So you can transfer exactly 60 damage onto the Iron Hands, knocking it out, then counter catch it up. I would say the Pikachu, but you don't have a Monkey to be able to transfer damage over to that. But Vincent doesn't have another attacker on the board, so the only threat that remains is the Pikachu. Choosing to Monkey now, and so Ino again after, I suppose. Promoting the Iron Leaves, that's not something you want to knock out. It's not going to do much. Alright, Inoing here. But if Vincent draws into a Crispin... No, that's no Crispin. And Vincent had access to the Mew now. But Rune's just trying to Ino, turn after turn, limiting Vincent from having enough cards to win. Oh, this is interesting though. And Rune didn't draw into a counter catcher. But he can do a lot of damage onto their Iron Leaves. He doesn't need to retreat the Frillish. The Jellicent, I mean 160. So again, this Iron Leaves dies by Monkey next turn. And if Rune gets a counter catcher next turn for the Mew, then that's game for Rune. And Vincent just really wants to find something here. I mean, he does have Vassal. One more. And there's the Crispin. He needed that card. But he played the Ino already. I don't suppose... Oh, it's going to be a retreat into the Mew. And a pass. Because you need 2 attachments. Two Monkey onto the Iron Leaves. You don't do enough damage on the Mew, and you have Crispin for next turn, but Rune sees the play, so retreats into Gardevoir, and closes out the game. Having a 4 prize turn. This is huge. A very nice game here. Alright, GG's to Rune.